All right, Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in His work. And as always, you believers out there, the Akim as well as the Aqua, that subscribe to these teachings as well. So we back once again, the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and once more continuing in the spirit of prophecy, man. And one of the more, if not one of the most anticipated prophecies is the overthrow of the wicked, the so-called white man, the devil, and his enterprise, man. This current system that's in power, the beast system, which has contributed to the wickedness that has exceedingly polluted the planet Earth, man. All right? Now, when you consider the way Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua go about his business, in relation to judgment, and bringing forth justice, there's a chronological order, right? First and foremost, the corporate is identified and targeted for ultimately brought up on charges, and the penalty, the judgment come down. So we're in a phase, really going back, starting with the leadership of Great Millstone, our teachers, our elders, the apostles, and the men before them, where we, that phase of identifying and targeting this man, pointing out the corporate, going to the source, which we found out that the devil that the Bible speaks of, the devil and Satan, the adversary, the man that's contrary to everything that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has laid out, is none other than the so-called white man. And that's a unanimous decision. You can't come with any other alternative, perspective, man. The so-called white man is the guy, okay? He's the one has been pointed out as being the wicked. Matter of fact, anybody got a precept? You got that 2 Thessalonians? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, the 2 Thessalonians 2:8.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall that wicked.
And then shall that wicked, go ahead.
Be revealed.
Be revealed, okay? Meaning that this man, the Lord had pretty much it was shrouded in mystery, who the devil that the Bible speaks of would be, And we was all under that cloud of deception where you thought the devil was some guy in a red spandex suit in the underworld, in the abyss, waiting to possess and torment your soul forever and ever. There's nothing more than a cunningly devised fable, which goes back to Greek mythology, which goes back to who? The so-called white man, the goddamn devil, the liar and the thief and the murderer. See? Go ahead.
It said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, and that's what you're witnessing. This man is being consumed by the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why you have these YouTube guidelines. You have hate speech. Oh, you even got in legislation where the Bible is being deemed as a hate speech. And I think it's in Scotland. They already came out and said, look, that's a criminal act now. Teaching the Bible. See that? Why? Because the so-called white man is offended in truth. Okay, truth is somewhat of that spiritual raid for that cockroach, that kryptonite, that spiritual kryptonite for Superman. He that's in power right now. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind of real quick. Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Yeah, and the answer to that is absolutely. We have become your enemy. We were enemy of the so-called white man. Why? Because something as subtle as truth. All right? This man is all about lies, falsehood, and deceit. And that truth, again, that's that kryptonite. Matter of fact, before we get into this, give me a second Ezra, the 6th chapter, and start at the 27th verse. All right, you got something else?
Yeah, real quick. Jeremiah 49 and verse 10. But I have made Esau barren.
Right, the Lord have made Esau barren. Okay? Meaning the Lord has now begun to expose this devil, man. This man is under heavy scrutiny. He's been thoroughly examined. And what we came to the conclusion, this is the damn devil. All right, the reason why you eating GMOs is because of this nigga. The reason why you got damn $2 for $1 potato chips, goddamn honey buns, Fagos, all right, in the hood. Like Ox said, in the more upclass neighborhoods, you got Mountain Dews. Either way it go, it's poison, right? Well, we found out that the motivation behind this man and pushing these things forth is he's the devil. He's death, all right? He's the harbinger of death. This man can't do right. He can't be rehabilitated. It's woven in his very DNA. It's a part of his makeup. All right. This man was designed to be the wicked. So we don't marvel at the fact that this man promotes death, right? Because that's what he was created and raised up to do. Read it again.
Come. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places.
Go ahead.
And he should not be able to hide himself.
Yeah, so this man is no longer able to hide himself. All right? It's like if you catch that damn possum or whatever's been in your house lurking around. You finally catch him, he can't hide anymore. Then what's next? He's going to hiss. Once you put him in that corner, he's going to hiss at you. Then you're going to see his nails come out, his fangs. But that's what this man is going to be led to. He's going to resort to his attributes. The first attribute instinctively is what? Deception. He's going to try to lie his way out of it. It wasn't me. Then once that no longer worked, this nigga gonna pull out his sword, man. Right? So yeah, give me what you got.
God, yeah, this sick edge.
And what's causing this? Truth, light. You shine light on this devil, this vampire. He gonna. Hey, give me real quick Luke 8 and 17 before we get this. Give me Luke 8 and 17. That's what this motherfucker gonna do, man. Go ahead.
It's the book of Luke 8 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
For nothing is secret.
Yeah, nothing is secret. Go ahead.
That should not be made
That
manifest.
should not be made manifest. When you go into that word manifest, it literally means to make obvious. All right? To make clear. So we're in a time now where everything that has been secret, that this man has suppressed through his deception and lies, is now being made manifest. Okay? It's being laid out in the open. Hey, that's what happens in court. We got our day in court. Now we able, hey, even the cops say, hey man, you'll have your day in court. Well, now we got our day in court. We able to present all the evidence against you goddamn devil. Oh, when you go back into times past, like you watch these documentaries and read these stories, you'll have damn Edomite to come and drag you out your house and put you to death. The family wherever sick looking for you, and they finally find your ass hanging somewhere, right? Or damn near decomposed. And they know who the one took them and killed them. And they go to court on it. It'd be an all-white jury. You know what I mean? And they exonerate the motherfucker, man. Right? So now we're in a time where the Lord is calling you up on those crimes. Okay? You've been presented with those charges. And we thoroughly going into it. We breaking it down. We showing you images. We got video clips. We got audio. We got video. See? Go ahead.
It says, for there is nothing.
And it's like it. And the evidence is overwhelming, man. That's why the scripture said this man would no longer be able to hide himself. You the fucking criminal. Now you just forced to plead. That's why the scriptures say they'll try to please the poor, man. You forced to plead. I'm sorry, man. You know what I do? Let me do some community service. No, man. You're going to be judged to the fullest extent. Go ahead,
It says,
for real, Salaki. You know what they do? They snitch on each other. Hey, there's an old saying, there's no honor amongst thieves. What these devils do when you catch them? They tell on their own parents. That was my forefather. It wasn't me. You fucking criminal. You a grimy nigga, Esau. You the most venomous snake in the world. All right? Go ahead,
It says, for there is nothing secret that should not be made manifest.
Neither
anything hid that should not be known.
Go ahead.
And come abroad.
Right? And how is this happening? By way of the light. This truth is a light which was set up an effort to shed light, to bring clarity to the things that's done in the dark, man. See that? You got something else?
Yeah, I got a real quick precept. This is the book of St. John 3 in verse 19. Not verse 20, verse 19, point of verse 20. It says, and this is the condemnation that light is coming into the world.
Right, and that light that's coming to the world again is in the form of this doctrine, this truth. You are not enlightened because you have been exposed to this form of teaching, which is the teaching of our Lord Yahweh Shah, which is only on display here in Great Millstone. And that's another thing, you other groups, now you starting to be exposed for being a bunch of grimy niggas. Yeah, the nigga got busted smoking a blunt. The nigga smoking a blunt down to the ropes. You know what I mean? You can see the fire right at this nigga smoke down to the fingertips, man. Yet this is a nigga's teacher. He probably a couple of hours removed from breaking scriptures down, telling you. The Lord exposed this nigga for being a blunt smoking, grimy nigga, man. See that? Go ahead. But that's proof that there's only one truth. There's only one doctrine. I did a lesson earlier, and that's the spirit where you had the certain merchant man who found one pearl of great price. See, that proves that there's one doctrine, man. There's no alternative ideas or philosophies out there, man. You got to subscribe to one teaching. Like Ark brought out, you didn't have several arcs. You know, like you catch a fly. I missed that arc. Let me get this next arc out of here. It was one arc that led to salvation. Go ahead.
Con. It says, and men love darkness rather than light.
Right. You love the information that you are accustomed to, being exposed to. Whether you were subscribing to being a Moor, a damn Muslim, a Christian, you know, you love that darkness more than light. You chose that misinformation over the true light. Right? Go ahead.
It says, because their deeds were evil. It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
Yeah, and that's first and foremost dealing with Esau. This nigga is found in the caves, in the dark, wet, damp caves and shadows. And once the light is shed, he don't want no parts of that shit. He's nocturnal, man. See that? So, and whoever subscribed to his form of thinking, you the same way. You hate the light. You love darkness more than the light. And usually that's the one that sleep. If you sleep, and that goes for all of us. You sleep, you got all the lights off, you're in a good sleep. The last thing you want is somebody to flick the light on, man. You can't tell me that ain't Yahweh Shema Shai showing you the contrast between information and the misinformation. Niggas love to be misinformed because it takes energy. It actually takes energy to find out what's going on. You have to put on your thinking caps, as they say. You got to think, you got to study, you got to have, make full proof of your leisure time. That's a work, man. That's a laborious. That's a labor in itself. And a nigga don't want no part of it. Nigga just rather stay sleep. See, go ahead. And your sleep is more. That sleep is more cemented, if you will, in darkness. Go ahead.
It says neither coming to the light.
Yeah, you don't want to come into this thing. You don't want to come and partake in what's going on here. Right? Go ahead.
These deeds should be reproved.
And what's going to happen? Your deeds will be reproved. And that's why the guy got busted smoking a blunt, man. But again, this goes into Esau first and foremost. All right? The so-called white man, they don't want no parts of this. So their instinct is to shut it down. Okay? Either first and foremost by demonizing it, you know, by alienating us as being just a bunch of terrorists or whatever. Right? And if that don't work, they're just going to physically try to silence us and shut us up, man. Right? That's the instinct of the so-called white man. That's going to be his reaction. And that's in the book of, matter of fact, give me that real quick in Revelation 12 and 17. You got something?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, this is Habakkuk 2 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Thou art filled with shameful glory.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the so-called white man. All right, this is the time where this is supposed to have been your glory. All right, you on top, you in power. But that glory is replaced with shame. You know, we about to come up on Thanksgiving, right? So-called Thanksgiving. And that was a time when you boasted in your glory. Christopher Columbus and, you know, discovering a new world. Now that glory is being replaced with shame. Not only us, but you have different people, even other Edomites, that's calling you out for the crimes and the atrocities that was committed by way of Christopher Columbus and his band of damn goons, man. And when you really go into the memoirs, the stories of Christopher Columbus, man, that shit gets you vexed, right? You get pissed. Go ahead,
It said, thou art filled with shameful glory.
Mm-hmm.
Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Right, so now you've been uncovered. You've been discovered. You've been found out that you the devil, man. All right, go ahead.
The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee,
Mm-hmm.
and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Yep, and we contribute to that. We contribute to that shameful spewing. We spewing on your glory, man. We here to tell you that, look, don't lust after this man. Don't desire after this man and his dainties and his kingdom. Because he's the devil. He's a criminal. All right? So go ahead.
Real quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 47:1. Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on the ground, there is no throne,
Mm-hmm.
O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, you're no longer being called tender and delicate. You're no longer desired after. That's why the scriptures refer to America as being a prostitute. You know, you come across an old harlot in her heyday, you had guys throwing money at her. But as time began to wear on her, you know, you see those flaws, right? You see those blocks, those tits turns to teardrops, her ass turn to flaps. And now she's calling you. She's trying to get with you now. Let me hold 20. I'll make you feel good, you know? Because she's now no longer being called tender and delicate. See? Go ahead.
It says, take.
Oh, that's why you read Isaiah the 24th chapter. It says, no man will come into her. You know? Go ahead.
It says, take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks.
Yeah, uncover thy locks. Go ahead.
Make bare the leg.
Make bare the legs. Go ahead.
Uncover the thigh.
Uncover the thigh. Go ahead.
Pass over the rivers.
Yeah, and that's dealing with who? Esau. Because when you go into the stature in the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter, from the thigh down is dealing with the so-called white man. See that? Matter of fact, give me Psalms 147 and 10. I think it is. Psalm 147 and 9 or 10. Okay? Let's prove that those legs is dealing with Esau.
Yeah, this book Psalm, chapter 147. And you see you want to start it?
Let me see. You go to verse 10.
All right, Psalm 147:10. It said, he delighteth not in the strength of the horse. He taketh not pleasure in the legs of man.
See, he taketh not pleasure in the legs of man. That's dealing with this current system, Esau. Which when you consider the body, the legs is the bottom part of the body. Meaning you the lowest, you the basis. Oh, your legs down to your feet is the base of the body. So you the basis of all men. You the most venomous snake in the damn world, Esau. And that's what we're going to get into in this lesson. Now, real quick, what's that I called before we...
Revelation 12.
Yep, Con, let's get that real quick. Yep, Con.
This is Revelations 12 and verse 17.
Okay.
It says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Yep, read that again.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Yeah, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. Who is the dragon? The serpent. Now, let's get this straight. A dragon, a serpent, a damn chameleon, they're all in the same family. They're all one. They're reptilians. They're all serpents. Then you have a nigga got a doctrine out of that, man. Nigga get too deep. And niggas like the reptilians came down from planet Nibiru. You know what I mean? And they took over the human race. No, this dragon is interchangeable with the serpent. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Go up. Is that Revelation the 12th chapter? It's on up.
Like 9.
Yeah, go up to like the 9th verse.
It's Revelation 12 verse 9. It says, in the great dragon.
In the what?
In the great dragon.
In the great dragon. Now, he started off a little. Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis the 3rd chapter. He started off a little bitty snake, but he ultimately grew into a great dragon. And this motherfucker developed 7 heads. Oh, it tells you that in what's that? The dragon with 7 heads. Is that Revelation 17? If I'm not mistaken.
I think it is. Beast with 7 heads.
Yeah, the beast 7 heads. Yeah. See, now we're giving you a vivid illustration, okay, of the progress of the so-called white man. You know? So real quick, let's go right here.
Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Yeah, and the beast of the field is dealing with all the other nations. And the field would be the world. Let's prove that real quick. Let's prove that the field is the world. What we're reading right here is a parable. All right? And it will make sense to those of you who have understanding, who the Lord have bestowed understanding unto. Go ahead. Yes. 13:38, I believe.
Oh, yeah. St. Matthew 13:38. It said the field is the world.
See, the field is the world. All right, so let us go back here.
Genesis 3 and 1. It said, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right, so the serpent is the so-called white man. All right? And he was more shrewd or subtle than any of the beasts of the field or any of the nations in the world. And you can see that to this very day. The other nations pretty much take their marching orders behind the so-called white man. They try to pump Moab up as if Moab retarded, man. He's just a nigga you put in the lab, and you know what I mean? And he's thinking he's willing to go there, man. Oh, that's why they have Moab building them train tracks. They was killing each other, killing each other because they retarded, man. Yep, go ahead.
It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made.
Yeah, so that's the serpent. He was the serpent here in the beginning. Now we read to where he grew into a great serpent or a great dragon. Right? So let's read this again.
Revelations 12, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out.
Yep.
That old serpent.
That what?
That old serpent.
That old serpent, see, of the Old Testament. So that same dragon is the same old serpent. See that? Go ahead.
Called the devil.
Called the devil, and that's what we call him. Do not we call this man the devil? See? Go ahead.
And Satan.
And say, and the reason why the Lord acknowledged that he's being called the devil and say, because we the true judges. The Lord set us up as judges. We made an accurate call. We said, that's the devil, man. That's accurate. That's according to the will of Yahweh Shai, right? That he would be called the devil. Go ahead.
It says, which deceiveth the whole world.
Yeah, he deceived the whole world. How did he deceive the whole world? By way of his philosophies, his doctrines, his institutions and universities. Even what he perceived to be light is actually darkness, man. Even in the form of what he might see as pious, his religious. Matter of fact, give me that, even what light is darkness. Give me that real quick. And you know, I'm telling you, man, we getting on Esau ass. We're telling how long this might be. We're going to try to make it precisely to the point as possible, man. All right? But as it tells you in the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, that we are to prophesy against Mount Seir, set our face against you devils, man. All right, go ahead,
This is Job 10 and 21. It said, before I go whence, I shall not return.
And that will be America. Once we are out of here, we're not coming back to America. In fact, according to biblical prophecy, this place will never be inhabited again. It'll be a place for the dragons, the owls, the screech owls. This is going to be a very hideous place here in America. Once this place is destroyed, this is going to be a memorial. This is going to be the ninth wonder of the world. Go ahead.
It says, before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death.
Yep, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. That proves that that's not talking about hell. You have somebody to read that said Job, is having his final thoughts before he died. No, man. Job said, before I go to the land of darkness. Okay? That's here on the planet Earth. The land of darkness is America. And again, why is it known as the land of darkness? Because misinformation and disinformation is on display. Everything you subscribe to outside of this truth will keep you in further derision and have you in the dark. Go ahead,
It said, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death.
I see. America, go ahead.
Without any order.
Yeah, there's no order here. Everything is totally, completely out of order in America. Go ahead.
And where the light is as darkness.
So what a light is as darkness, meaning what seems to be a platform for enlightening you, that's even darkness. You got there, go to 4 years into a college, you more bugged out than before you went in there, man. And them the biggest bug outs. Them college students walking around with flip-flops and book bags and shit, Starbucks. Oh, and even, like I said, the religion, a church, that's a form of their light. Even that's as darkness. You're more in darkness when you subscribe to that. All right? Yeah, you got something?
Yeah, This is Matthew 6 and verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
Yep.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
Yeah. Like if you have somebody that's lost and they look at, they lost, but they think they know where they're going. You're more lost than the person that know they lost. Here it is, you don't know where you at, but you think you know where you at. That's the case here in America. All right, your light is as darkness. You got something else?
Yeah,
want to go back?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, this Isaiah 60 and 2. It said, for behold, the darkness.
Yep, the darkness, go ahead.
Shall cover the earth.
Right. In America, it's the springboard, if you will, which propels darkness throughout the world. That's why you have a military base, an embassy, all throughout the world. America has left its fingerprints throughout the world. Why? Because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. A criminal put his hand on some of his fingerprints is that prove he been here. Go ahead.
It says, and gross darkness the people.
And gross darkness the people. So you people are in gross darkness out there. Again, any of you who don't sincerely subscribe to this form of teaching, you're in the dark. Don't give a damn how colorful the kufi, how big the staff. You're in darkness, man. You're a bug out if you don't have this truth. We the only ones that make sense, man. This truth, this doctrine is the only thing that makes sense, man. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind of. Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak.
And what's the testimony? We're going to find more out about the testimony in a few minutes. Go ahead.
If they speak not according to this word.
Yeah, if you don't speak in harmony to what we saying, go ahead.
It is because there is no light in them.
Yeah, you're in darkness. All right, so now let's go back.
Go back to
Revelation.
kind of 12:9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out.
Yeah, so you see what a great dragon is nothing more than the serpent of old, who grew into a great dragon. See, go ahead.
That old serpent.
See, that old serpent from the Old Testament, go ahead.
Called the devil and
Called
Satan.
the devil and Satan, the so-called white boy, go ahead.
Which deceived the whole world.
Yeah, you did deceive the whole world. You placed this veil over the nations. That's why you have Hamites. You got a Hamite calling himself an African. Or Moab calling himself Chinese. Ammon, calling himself Japanese. And mainly the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. You the children of Israel. But you're going by these corporate names. Why? Because the so-called white man deceived you. See, go ahead.
It says he was cast, it says, which deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and the angels was cast out with him.
And his angels was cast out with him. They're going into ultimately when this man is taken down. When the scriptures say he was cast into the earth, you have a Christian, a bug out to tell you that was the devil, the spiritual being Satan. He was cast out of heaven and he fell past all the stars through the ozone layer and boom, landed, shook himself off and shit. Man, fuck out of here, man. When it say he was cast to the earth, that's a metaphor for falling off. Oh, you even hear that amongst our people? Oh, he fell off. He was doing good, he fell off. That's it. He was cast down. The Lord is going to debase him from that exalted state. Go ahead,
It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power.
Yeah, the kingdom of our power, Yahweh Shema Shah. And that kingdom starts with this word. That's why our Lord Yahweh Shah said, the kingdom will not come with observation, neither shall they say, lo here, lo there, for the kingdom is within you. It's dealing with this understanding. We the kingdom. Right? Go ahead.
And the power of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
It fell off. Go ahead.
Which accused them before our power day and night.
Now let's jump down to the 17th verse.
I kind of jump down to verse 17. It says, and the dragon was wroth.
See, there go that dragon. That dragon who started off as a serpent. The dragon was wroth, right? And that's the time we in. Why do you think this man setting up? This man came up with a full-fledged fucking plan, well thought out scheme and strategy to say that the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American is the carriers of the crown. The crown 19. Why are you saying that? Because he's looking to frame you as the enemy. And this is how this man always went about it. That's why he's known as the accuser. When this man wanted to go over to the Middle East and seize those poppy fields, what he did, he said Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein was the boogeyman. So it would make sense. So the people would be in agreement. They'll be in harmony. They'll sign off on this man going over there making war with you. All right? Or when they got the coca leaves down there with Gaddafi. I think that's his name. No, not him. What's this guy?
Damn, what's his name?
It wasn't Noriega. It was another one.
Talking about Pablo. Ain't Pablo.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Yep. We just go with him. There's a whole list of characters who they demonize, they frame as the enemy, they accuse them so they can justify themselves waging war. This is the way this man rationalized things out. You had a war on drugs. You had a war on terror. Now you got a war on the coronavirus. And who's the face of who's the enemy? Israel. And I want to say this. Why is always a war on something? Why it can't be, let's get to the bottom of this diplomatic. Why is a war? So we know why. Because your blessing is the sword. Go ahead.
It says, and the dragon was wroth with the women.
Right. So the dragon would be the so-called white man. And the woman would be Israel. So this man is wroth with you. He's angry with you. But really is geared towards the elect. And we're going to show you that as we read on. Go ahead.
And went to make war.
See, the war on terror. The war on, the war on terror. The war on drugs. The war on the corona. All right, go ahead.
With the remnant of her seed, which keepeth the commandments of
And the what?
It says, with the remnant of her seed.
And the remnant of her seed, which is who? The elect. Right? Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High, which is this book in its entirety. Right? Go ahead.
And have the testimony of Yahweh Mashiach.
And what's the testimony of Yahweh Mashiach? The spirit of prophecy. All right? So that dragon right there, that's the same old serpent. Okay? And he's a venomous serpent, which he's looking to wage war against you. Now, you got something?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
real quick. Yeah, this Psalm 37, the point of 14, but I'm going to start at verse 12. It said, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
Yep, the wicked plotteth against the just. And that's the attributes of a serpent. A serpent slithers, he gets you in his sights, then he gnash on you with his teeth. And in this case, those teeth is going to be that RFID chip. And we're going to show you that. You know? Yep, go ahead.
It said, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation.
Yep, to slay such as be of upright conversation. And that's dealing with who? The elect. All right? The men that have this truth. All right? So now let's go to Psalm 58. You had something before we get started?
Yeah, the word raw.
Okay, come.
It just said to provoke, to arouse to anger.
Yep, to provoke, to arouse to anger. And we really provoking this man. We poking at him with this word. This truth is beginning to settle on the hearts and minds of not just Jake and the average person, but really the elites. And it tells you that, I think it's Isaiah 13 is, so that they might go into the gates of the nobles. All right, so let's go out.
Yeah, this Psalm 58 and 1. It said, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yet in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
Yeah, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. When you weigh something, you consider it, you can measure it. You look at something, you weigh it in the balance. Oh, okay. This is the results of, well, your violence has been weighed throughout the earth. You take a look into this man's history, even to this very moment, is riddled with bloodshed, all right? Drama, war. And this man in his pursuit to power, nothing but bloodshed has been left in the wake. And a lot of carnage. See, that's a form of his violence being weighed in the earth. See, go ahead.
It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb.
Right, the wicked are estranged from the womb. Okay? Read that again.
It said the wicked are estranged from the womb.
Who is the wicked? Pursuant to the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it would be Esau. Go ahead.
It says they go astray as soon as they be born.
They go astray as soon as they be born. Go ahead.
Speaking lies.
Speaking lies. So what does it mean when the wicked come out of the womb speaking lies? Does that mean a little white baby come out and his first word is a lie? No. That's dealing with when this man came into power, when he came out of that obscurity, came out of the pit or the womb, he began to deceive. Let's get that.
Because it's Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, saints shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations.
See, and so what?
Go out to deceive the nations.
And so go out to deceive the nations. So this man came out of the pit or out of the womb speaking lies. He came into power deceiving the nations. All right? This is how this man established himself, by taking down the images of the patriarchs of the Bible, starting with the Most High himself, his beloved son, the angels, our forefathers, King David, King Solomon, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the prophets. He took down those images and replaced them with himself. That's a form of him speaking lies. And it don't stop there. With frescoes and paintings. Well, it even applies to movies. If you watch goddamn the 10 Commandments, it's a white boy. That's a form of him coming out of the womb speaking lies and covering the images of the judges that's spoken of in Job, the 9th chapter. All right, you got something?
Yeah, come. This is the book of St. John 8 and verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you would do. He was a murderer from the beginning.
See, he was a murderer from the beginning. Yep, go ahead.
In the bold, not in the truth.
Yep.
Because there is no truth in him.
Yeah, he abode not in the truth because there's no truth in him. Again, it's woven in this man's DNA and his very fabric to tell lies, to deceive you. Go ahead.
It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Yep, because he's a liar and the father of it. And what should come to mind is Cain. He lied. He said he don't know where his brother is. And even going back to the serpent himself, where he told Eve, he lied to Eve. See, so this man always was a liar. All right, so let's go back up.
Just Psalm 58:3 said, the wicked are estranged from the womb.
Mm-hmm.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yep.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Yep, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Meaning whatever this man infuses, whatever this man inject you with, is going to kill you. But look, if you subscribe to whatever this man has packaged and presented to you, you're going to die. That's why the scriptures say, the day I set before you life and death. Now, this is the thing. If you don't cleave to the teachings of Yahweh Shema Shad, by default, that means you hold fast to whatever Esau is selling you, man. You know, and it don't have to be in the traditional sense of religion. Well, whatever the so-called white, if you believe, if you trust in a rap career, that means you have just been bitten with that poison. But we're going to listen. It's going to be trans-chip. That's going to be the physical manifestation of that serpent biting you. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Come with Proverbs 23. I'm going to see if I can find it. I know it's in Proverbs 23. Matter of fact, you know what? Start at the 26th verse.
Proverbs 23:26. My son, give me thine heart and let thine eyes observe my ways.
See that? Give me thine heart and let thine eyes observe thy ways. That's the Lord, extending, a plea to you. Like, look, let me your ear. Give me your heart. Let me give you this word. All right? Go ahead.
For a whore is a deep ditch.
Yeah, a whore is a deep ditch. What's that talking about? That's talking about America, man. Okay? America is a pit. Oh, a deep ditch is the grave. That's hell. If you're looking for hell, we just gave you the scripture you can receive. America. It says, a whore is a deep ditch. That's hell. That's the grave.
Yep.
See, go ahead.
And a strange woman is a narrow pit.
And a strange woman is a narrow pit. Now, that strange woman is dealing with the philosophies that's here in America. The strange woman. I think that's also in Proverbs, the 7th chapter. Go ahead.
It says she also live and wait as for a prey.
Yeah, she live and wait as for a prey. You and your navigating through America is filled with pitfalls and snaps and traps, man, and snares, should I say? And they come in the form of doctrines, ideas, and again, it's not reserved or striking down to religion. That's first and foremost. But anything you subscribe to, if you looking to become, like I said, a rap star, the next LeBron James, make it big, some type of status here in this world. That's a form of those snaps and trails. Why? Because it keeps you from the truth. See, go ahead.
It said, it says she also lied away as for a prey and increases the transgressors among men.
Yeah, see, now when you subscribe to what America have to offer, your transgressions are now increased versus those of you who subscribe to these teachings. Your sins are being cleared. The Lord is going to exonerate you, man. If you wholeheartedly return to him. Right, go ahead.
It said, who have woe, who have sorrow, who have contentions, who have babbling, who have wounds without cause, who have redness of eyes.
Right, and it's dealing with you subscribing to these teachings, which is known as wine. Wine makes the eyes red. See, that clouds your vision. See that? Go ahead.
It said, they that tarry long at the wine.
See, that's dealing with these different philosophies. Go ahead.
They that go to seek mixed wine.
Yeah, that's dealing with all these different philosophies again, mixed wine. And that's what a lot of you Israelites do as well. You ill hustle with Great Millstone teach. You might learn a little from IUIC. You might take notes from I ask you, PK, but you a damn psycho if you do that. Them niggas. But that would be a form of these mixed wines. See that? Go ahead.
It said, look now thou upon the wine when it is red.
Yep. See, Esau's philosophies.
When it giveth his color in the cup.
And we don't show you they're talking about Esau philosophies. Go ahead.
When it moveth itself away.
Well, it's not the whore giving you the cup. That's the red wine. That's Esau's philosophies. Go ahead.
At the last.
At the what?
At the last.
At the last. We're in the last now. This means when the so-called white man is in desperation mode, this is the end, right? This is the last scene of the movie. What's going to happen?
It biteth.
It biteth. Go ahead.
Like a serpent.
Like a serpent. See? And that's dealing with that microchip, man. So at the last, it's going to be physically manifested into a bite. Read that again.
It says, at the last, it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder.
And stingeth like an adder. Now, real quick, you want to get a little information? That information you got?
Okay.
Let's get that. You got something?
Yeah, kind. This Sirach 21 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Flee from sin.
Yep, flee from sin. Go ahead.
As from the face of a serpent.
As from what?
As from the face of a serpent.
Which that links up to Revelation, the 14th chapter, where it talks about the beast and his image. All right? That's the face of the serpent. Read that again.
It says, flee from sin.
Yep.
As from the face of a serpent.
See, as from the face of a serpent, meaning whatever this man have to offer. See, we don't subscribe to whatever America push, man. We don't subscribe to his trends, her trends, or whatever, which is an androgynous power anyway. You don't know what it is, he or her. Like Statue of Liberty, what the fuck is that? Right? Well, we don't subscribe to it. Whatever make you Americans cry, what ticks you, what makes your clock tick, it don't affect us over here. Whatever make you cry, it don't affect us. See that? Why? Because we have fled from the face of the serpent. Read that again.
It says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee.
Yeah, meaning if you come and cleave to it, if you subscribe to America, you put your stock into America, you make America your stronghold. For all of you who have made America your refuge, that means you have come close to the serpent. Now you're going to be bitten, meaning what? You're going to ultimately take that chip, man. That's why I say at the last, that adder is going to bite you, man. All right, so was it on that?
A little bit more.
Go ahead.
It says the teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion.
Ooh, the teeth is as the teeth of a lion. Go ahead.
Slaying the souls of men.
Slaying the souls of men. So those teeth, when you're penetrated with that chip, which is the climax to the so-called white man, his rulership, his reign of terror, is going to destroy, going to kill you. That's why the penalty for taking the chip is feeling the brunt, the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shah, which is to be poured out without mixture, man. All right, so let's go ahead. What you got?
So this is the adder, most venomous snake in the world.
It says the adder is the most venomous snake in the world. Now, why in the hell we going there? Because the scriptures refer to the so-called white man as the adder. We're gonna go more into that. Go ahead, out.
See, the common death adder is a highly venomous snake.
Yeah, it's a highly venomous snake, which that goes into the so-called white man spiritually, in the spirit. If you viewing this thing through spiritual lenses, man, so-called white man is the most venomous snake it is. Which venom? Matter of fact, hold that. Let's get the definition of venom. If you could get it just or
Regular Google.
Yep.
Okay.
Just venom definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Google definition of the word venom. It says a poisonous substance secreted by animals such as snakes.
Mm-hmm. Now go to the similar words.
It says poisons, toxins, bang, intoxicate. Let me get this one.
Okay, that might be the one I want.
It says extreme malice. And
extreme malice. It's that extreme malice, right? Go ahead. And venom, go ahead.
And bitterness.
And bitterness. That goes into America. Did you know the word America goes like the bitter? See? In this place, America is bitter for the Israelites. Don't give a damn how far you made it up the ladder in America. Your status, if you will. Your salary or whatever. You bitter here in America, man. This place was set up and designed to vex you. Go ahead, out.
It says shown in someone's attitude, speech, or actions.
Mm-hmm. Now, what the similar words say right here?
See, rancor, male violence, spite.
Okay.
Malice.
That's cool. Oh, let's say hostility. Okay. That bad blood.
Damn.
Bad blood. Hatred. All right? So let's get what you got.
It said the common death adder is a highly venomous snake
Mm-hmm.
with a 50 to 60% untreated mortality rate.
Now, meaning what? If you're bitten by this snake, if it's untreated, you paying attention. If it's untreated, you're gonna die. Now, we was affected by this serpent at one point, you know, but we was treated by the physician. All right, when you read, I think it's Sirach 10 and 10, it tells you how the physician cut off a long disease. See that? You got more on that?
Yeah, it says also the fastest striking venomous snake in the world.
The fastest striking venomous snake in the world. And in the spirit, that would be Esau. So that's the adder, right? So now let's go back to Psalm 58.
Back Psalm. It's like Psalm 58
Mm-hmm.
and verse 3 again. It said verse 4, so like it's Psalm 58 and 4. It said their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Mm-hmm.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Right, so they're like the deaf adder. So you see what the scriptures compared the so-called white man to the deaf adder. We just read what an adder is, a highly poisonous, highly venomous snake, and the fastest striking of the snakes. So that's Esau, man. See, and we're not just making that up. It's not, even though that would be an accurate assessment, but we have more of a sure form of making that analogy. The scriptures call this motherfucker an adder. That's why we went into the definition of an adder, man. And it all fits together perfectly, man. So the scripture was spot on when comparing this man to an adder. So read that again, huh?
It said their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Mm-hmm.
Which will now hearken to the voice of charmers.
Right, so they hear us. We would be the charmers. These devils hear us, but they stop in their ears. They're not going to hearken to our voice, right? And that goes into Lazarus and the rich man as well, where it said, nay, Abraham. Fuck him, man. Yeah, go ahead. Huh?
It said, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers.
Mm-hmm.
Charmer never so wisely.
Yep, charmer never so wisely. Right? Go ahead.
Break their teeth, O Most High.
So that's where we at. We're in a time where the Lord is about to break their teeth. And how is the Lord breaking their teeth? You got to remember, everything is in stages with Yahweh Shema Shah. Nothing just pops up. Everything grows. That's why the Lord is known as the farmer, the husbandman, the planter. Because why? The Lord, he plants a seed. For example, America. America didn't just pop up with shopping malls. It started off as 13 colonies, you know, and then it grew. See? So that's the same with the Lord breaking the teeth of this serpent. It starts with this word. Give me that real quick. And what's that? It's a couple of them. I know Deuteronomy 12. But give me the one in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 23 and 29. And real quick, give me, I believe that's Luke 10, and I believe it's 19. All right, go ahead.
Kind of the book of Jeremiah 23 and 29.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my word like as a fire, said the Lord.
Right, go ahead.
And like a hammer.
That what?
That breaketh the rock in pieces.
See, so the Lord says he's going to break the teeth of this serpent.
Uh-huh.
It starts with this word, which ultimately the Lord is going to break the scepter of the so-called white man, break down his kingdom by ultimately destroying it in the form of World War III, which that's biblical. Well, it starts with this word. Now, that's where we come in. Now, give me this real quick. Let me see if that's the one I want. That's it. Matter of fact, you can jump up, I think, a verse 18.
This is the book of Luke 10, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Now, who is that dealing with? The so-called white man. He fell as lightning from heaven, right? And to fall is a process. Even though this is a fast fall in the Lord's eyes, it's lightning. But when you fall, you're at the top of a building. You don't just jump and you instantly at the ground. It's a fall. You see arms flailing. You hear a motherfucker hollering, right? So that Satan right there, the so-called white man. But let's see what he's also known as. Go ahead.
It says, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents.
So what?
To tread on serpents.
And so the Lord gave us this word to break them down, to tread on what?
Serpent.
On serpents, man. So that's Esau. And that's the power that we have over you. Okay, you slithering on your stomach, and we have the power to crush your ass. See? Read that again.
God says, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions.
Yep, and scorpions, go ahead.
And over all the power of the enemy.
See? And over all the power of the enemy, proving that the enemy is the serpent, man. Go ahead.
And nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Yeah, and this man, whenever he try to come after us, he's not going to hurt us. You remember when Paul got bit by the serpent? He didn't die, man. So guess what? When the so-called white man come after us in the form of his military, in no wise will he hurt us. Because the Lord gave us power to tread on you devils, man. And that's what we doing. We shitting on you, man. We going in on you. We calling you out. We calling you the devil, the serpent, you know, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And in no wise you're going to be exonerated. You're going to be punished to the full extent of the law. All right? And we ultimately going to take your ass into captivity, you know, and beat the shit out of you 1,000 years before you ultimately exterminate it. Thus said the Bible. All right, so you got something else? Let's go back there.
Yeah, this Psalm 58 and 6. It said, break their teeth on Most High, and their mouth break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord.
Yep, and the reason why the scriptures call him the young lion, because when you consider a young lion is full of vigor, if you will, full of fight. That's why these devils, you know, all this activity, you know, they looking for motherfuckers to bump heads with. That's why they get out of jams by war. The Great Depression, they got out of that jam with war. And that's why they looking at, you know, that's how they come up. So that's why they known as the young lion in this case. Go ahead.
It said, let them melt away as waters, which run continually.
Yeah.
When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrow.
Yeah, that's dealing with World War III. All right. When the Lord bendeth his bow, that bow is somebody to those silos, and those arrows will be those ICBM missiles. But the scriptures say, let them melt away. Go ahead.
It said, when he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces.
Let them be as cut in pieces. Right? Go ahead.
It said, as a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun.
Yep.
Before your pots can.
Oh, you know, they got this phoenix rising, coming out of the ashes. Yep. No, you're not going to see that. You're not going to. No, you're going to go into the dark holes and pits. You know, you're going to go into obscurity once again. Go ahead.
It said, before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath.
Yep.
The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
And we're going to actually see the fall of our enemies, which we're seeing now. Again, everything is a process, but it's going to ultimately manifest itself physically when we up in the chariots looking down at the destruction of America. That's going to be seeing this man's punishment. See, go ahead.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So
and that's what we ultimately going to do. Because you got to remember, the destruction of America is only the beginning. Once we see his fall in the kingdom, we're going to wash our feet. We're going to beat you out. We're going to stomp you out in the kingdom, man. When the tables is turned, so to speak. When we on top and you at the bottom. Go ahead.
He says, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a rewarder for the righteous.
Yeah, so it's going to be a reward for this. It's going to be a reward for us going out speaking his word. It's a reward for you believing on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yep, that's the spirit. I was going to go into that. Psalm 140. See, yep, go ahead.
It says, verily, he is a power that judgeth in the earth.
Yep, so there's a power. Truly, there's a power that judges in the earth. And that's what we're waiting on, the Lord to make his judgment. You know, in this case right here, you know, Jake versus Esau. The Lord's going to make us ruling on that case. And he's going to rule in our favor. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind. This on Psalms 10 and 14. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee.
Right. We are committed to performing the service of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, on the one hand, those who teach this word, and again, those who you believe. That's a work, right? Oh, there's also, I believe that's in St. John, the 6th chapter, where the scriptures say, how do we work the works of the Most High? And Yahweh said, this is the work of the Most High, that he may believe on him that have sent. See, go ahead.
It says, thou art the helper of the fatherless.
Yep, the Lord is the helper of us. We the fathers. Which our father is Yahweh Shai. He's not here. See, and that's a stumbling block to a lot of people. When you go into Isaiah the 9th chapter, tell you that one of the titles of Yahweh Shai is the everlasting Father. When you go into Isaiah 9 and 6, I believe. Right? Go ahead.
It says, break thou the arm of the wicked.
Yeah, that's his power. We're in the process. We watching that now. We witnessing the Lord break the power of the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And the evil man.
And the who?
And the evil man.
Yep, the evil man. Why didn't it say the guy with a red suit and a set of horns? Why didn't he warn us about that? Why wasn't King David making a petition to kill that guy? That's the guy that's going to be waiting on you forever and ever. No, he was mindful. He made a conscious effort to say the evil man, which would be none other than the serpent, the most venomous serpent snake on the planet Earth. Esau Edom. Go ahead.
It says, seek out his wickedness.
Yeah, that's what you're witnessing. We are that light that's seeking out the wickedness of the so-called white man. The reason why you know that he's the devil is because of the light, the scriptures. The reason why you know about an Illuminati, a secret cabal, you know, an underground network where they're trying to push forth different, legislations to keep Jake, really to kill Jake. Let's just call it what it is, man. That's the form of the Lord seeking out his wickedness. Read that again.
It says, break thou the arm of the wicked.
Yeah, so again, the Lord is breaking this man's power. This is monumental what you're witnessing, man. The so-called white man who dominated, which his reign of terror could be considered somewhat of a dynasty, man. The Lord stepped in on our behalf, made inquisition on behalf of the elect of the nation of Israel. Now this man is beginning to be broken. You should rejoice at that. It's not that marvelous in your eyes. Well, it should be. Okay, go ahead. Huh?
And the evil man.
And the evil man. Again, it didn't say the guy with a pitchfork in his hand. That's a cunningly devised fable, man. We don't subscribe to that. We know perfectly well who this evil man would be. That would be the so-called white man. Go ahead. Huh?
It says, seek out his wickedness.
Yep, again, that's what you're witnessing. We have found out all this man's wickedness. Court is in session. We bringing all the evidence out on this man. Go ahead.
Till thou find none.
Till they find none, meaning your ass is going to be justice. You know, once you have that justice, then that's it. Put the file away. Oh, you know what happened? They said case closed. So you got something? All right, let's go to Psalm 140. We'll be ready to close up right here.
Start at
the top. So we're in a time now where, this is beautiful yet dangerous times, because when you corner off a serpent, he's going to go into defense mode. And we know that this man's defense mechanism is the sword. And that's going to be in the form of his military, which this man is going to send forth. All right. You're going to see tanks in your neighborhood, MRAPs. And he's going to try to push forth his Maximes, and it's all an effort to cement his rulership. This is one last desperate plea from Esau in a feeble attempt to try to maintain his birthright. So now, with that said, this man is going to open up, but there's going to be those who are going to be protected in that day. All right? So come on.
Come on.
Straight, go
ahead. Mouth open.
Yeah. Like that. I'm finna actually narrate what's going on. You know what I mean? The evil man have come upon us. Go ahead.
This Psalm 141. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man.
See that? He thought that was going to be happening. He thought he was going to run out. I should have got you. Go ahead and read. Dog. Don't worry about it. They coming. Just read. Go ahead.
It said, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man.
See that? Deliver me from the evil man. That's a song. Who is it?
Psalm of David.
Psalm of David. Why David, who was a man after the heart of Yahweh Shema Shai, never told you Lord, I was saying to me that he would want, Lord, keep me from the guy down there. This man want to poke me with a pitchfork forever and burn me. No, it said, keep me from the evil man. And really, what we read here is a prophecy concerning the time that we're in now and the time that we're approaching. Go ahead, up.
It said, preserve me from the violent man.
Preserve me from the violent man. The most venomous man on the planet Earth, the most dangerous man on the planet Earth. He's the violent man. All right? Let's prove that. World War I, World War II. This was war on a global scale. Who was it instigated by? Esau. Go ahead, huh?
It said, which imagine mischiefs in the
heart.
heart.
He imagined mischief in the heart. And That word heart is symbolic. That's a metaphor for these secret councils, man. Like you had the Bilderberg meeting. This man sit around and strategize plans to come up against Jake. And we always go into it. The reason why you drinking Fagos and shit like that, that was a sinister plan. Go ahead, Doc.
Continually are they gathered together for war.
Continually are they gathered together for war, man. Go ahead.
It said they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent.
Right, and that's where we at. You're now beginning to hear this word mandatory thrown around more. All right? Go ahead.
It says adder's poison.
What?
Adder's poison.
Adder's poison, which we looked up that definition. Adder, that's the one of the most venomous snakes on the planet Earth, and he has the quickest, the fastest striking. You know, he strikes faster than any other. Go ahead.
It said adder's poison is under their lips.
Or under their lips, which goes into what their laws and legislations. Right, real quick, you got more on that?
I mean, it's more.
I know we're going to look up that word poison real quick, and we're gonna finish this off right here. All right, you had a precept?
Yeah, kind of got some back up there. Snake bites.
Okay.
Mixed with the chip. It said untreated snake bites may lead to more serious problems such as swelling, bleeding, and infections. And it says severe swelling may press on the blood vessels and nerves in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Revelations.
Yep.
16 and verse 2, it says, "And the first went out and poured out his veil upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast."
Yeah, and that grievous sore is dealing with, once you take that chip, it's going to create a sore. It's going to be a great infection. And that's the same with a serpent. If a serpent bites you, then it's going to be a great infection right there, man. See, go ahead.
It says, "And upon them which worship his
So you
image."
see where this is the most powerful book here on the planet Earth, hands down, man. You can't go to the Quran, so-called Holy Quran, or the Enuma Elish, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or any source of text out there and retain this type of information, man. All right? So did it give you anything?
This word poison. It says heat, rage, hot displeasure, indignation, anger, wrath, poison.
It says heat, rage. What come to mind? Give me 2nd Ezra 16. It says heat and rage, wrath. It did say wrath, right? So why the word heat and wrath is right there? We're going to show you why. Go ahead.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 6-8. "For behold, the burning wrath."
See, the burning wrath. Go ahead.
"Of a great multitude."
That's the great dragon and his military. Go ahead.
"Is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you."
Right. They're going to snatch you out of your homes. You know, they're going to take certain of you and they're going to take you to these concentration camps. You're going to have chipping stations set up, man. That's going to be a form of that burning wrath that's going to be kindled against the children of Israel. That's biblical prophecy right there, man. That's a reality that's about to come upon you people, whether you believe it or not. See that? That's the time what the scriptures have coined as the time of Jacob's trouble. Go ahead,
And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Yeah, they're going to feed you with that chip. All right, so let's go back.
Back Psalm 140. And in verse 3 again, it said, "They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips." Salah. It said, "Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked." Preserve
from his military. See, this makes more sense now. As you see that day approach, the day where the Lord's going to allow this devil to open up, man. All right, where this man going to come in like a great flood. All right, and one last desperate plea, if you will, to retain his grip of power. Which martial law, which when you go into that word martial law, it pretty much means warlike law, okay, is nothing more than the bridge to this man in his new world order and his attempt to crown his enterprise a success, okay, which that's going to come with a very vehement approach. This man going to be very adamant about pushing forth this, man. If anybody get in his way, he's going to bring out that sword. Go ahead.
It says, who have purposed to overthrow my goings."
Yeah, this man is purposing to overthrow Jake, starting with the elect, knowing that we was given the inheritance. That city that was promised to a man for an inheritance that you read about in 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, was given to the elect. those who are destined to be joint heirs with our Lord Yahweh Shai and partakers in the first resurrection. Go ahead.
He said, the proud, so like the proud have hid a snare for me.
Yeah, and that's the so-called white man. And you see the snare being hit. We see the snare. That's in give me that real quick. Proverbs 1, is it?
Mm-hmm.
See, we see the snare. Our people don't see the snare. They walking around with masks on, you know. We see that snare. Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 1:17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
See, so you devils have set your snare in vain in our sight. All right, so let's go back.
Because it said the proud have hid a snare for me.
Which is set in vain. We see all through your snares and traps. Go ahead.
And cords, and they have spread a net by the wayside.
Yep.
They have set gins for me. Salah.
That word gin means traps. All right. That was it. That was it on it?
Yeah.
Okay. You got something?
Yeah, come. This Sirach 12 and 13. It says, who would pity a charmer that has been with a serpent?
Right. So we're not going to pity none of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans once you're finally bitten by this serpent. Right? Go ahead.
Or any such as come now, wild beast.
Right. So you see somebody playing with a damn lion, then a few seconds later he getting mauled and mangled. You shouldn't send an ambulance to that nigga. You shouldn't even waste taxpayers' dollars. All right? Why? Because you shouldn't pity one who come near wild beasts or come nigh wild beasts, which that's a metaphor for Esau. All right? This man is a man of the field. See that? So you got something? All right? So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, your brothers laboring in his work, and as always, the believers, the Akim, as well as the Aquad that subscribe to the teachings of our Lord Yahweh Shai as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, abide the ball.